Greetings and welcome to a Monday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is October 21st. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing great. It is a old school throwback in person recording with no PJ. Sorry to all the PJ-aholics out there.
Hey, we were at this event today. We're having our member guest down here in South Carolina, Aiken area. And, I had literally just walked off the plane. I'm in sweatpants, a t-shirt, just come ambling down the sidewalk. And Will's making an announcement. It's like, oh, we got Brennan here. They're just like, where's PJ? Someone shouts. They want PJ. The people at this event. PJ has the highest Q rating or approval rating of anybody at the Friday Golf Company at this moment. The attendees are screaming for PJ. But he's home. No PJ today. We're together in the Aiken area.
I told him I was going to try and film this for the YouTubers.
No,
didn't happen.
No, we're closing this up shop. We're posting. We're shipping. Could not vouch for the quality of the audio or the conversation at this point, but we'll get it done. What's up?
I forgot to say it's Victory Monday for me.
It is for me too. It looked a little scary there. Quarterback got hurt. But still, Jaden Daniels, just a rib injury, 40-7. They're just like, quarterback got hurt. I know people were very worried about it, talking about our starter getting hurt today, but they were still able to pull it out and get 40-7. I know this is just this injured starting quarterback. That's my quarterback, Jaden Daniels, but they still won 40-7.
You weren't part of the fans that were cheering when the quarterback got hurt, were you?
No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there for that one. But,
okay. Seems like it's gonna,
I mean, spare me the lecture from Jameis Winston. It looks like, he died. He didn't die. It's like he's like a POW or something, and he's been lost at sea, or like we'll never see him again. Get out of here. Like, I feel bad. You shouldn't boo a guy that's hurt, no matter, whatever may be going on, I guess. But congrats to you. You got a bye week, which is already a victory. That's always nice and stress-free. How about... I was kind of unplugged this weekend, but I just start getting texts about Illinois beating the big bad defending national champions. Maybe not the same team that won that national championship. But it's ridiculous. Oh, and I gotta say...
we took them out back and smacked them. We should have won that game by 35 points.
Bert's just kind of waddling around his poncho.
Did you see him? He ran into the locker room and jumped up and chest bumped one of the players.
No, did they go flying?
I was worried about the player.
Literal Kool-Aid man running into the locker room. That leather helmet execution was pretty good too. A lot of catnip. That was catnip. That was social media catnip. But you guys are... Did you play Indiana this year?
No.
Oh. Is that a real rivalry? I only know it.
Oregon. We got Oregon next.
Oh, the number one team in the country.
Yeah.
No.
At Oregon. I was reading something about Indiana.
Yeah.
And the author was like, it's too bad that they're not playing any of the top teams in the Big Ten. And they listed it like Ohio State, Penn State. I think they play Ohio State, but it was like Penn State, Oregon, or Illinois.
Is that a rivalry at all? I know the Eric Gordon
like a basketball
was a thing. That's all I know about the hatred there.
We're both so bad in football every year. Okay. It's a basketball rivalry.
Okay. All right. Flying high.
Honestly.
When was the last time they beat Michigan? Even
Michigan.
It's been
a long time.
The down years. Okay.
It's been a long time since we're good.
What are they ranked?
20.
They're only up to 20?
It's kind of bullshit. They're not giving them any respect. They were on the doorstep at half of going up against Penn State. That game would have been completely different if they would have scored when they're on the two-yard line.
Yeah,
and
fair.
They just give them no respect. They've only lost to the third-ranked team in the country, and they got them as the 20th team. And it was a close game against the third-ranked.
Meanwhile, you got one loss Georgia, one loss Texas,
two loss Bama's ahead of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Should be 3 loss Alabama. God, it's just the crooked media.
Hey,
does not vote. What?
I think we got to talk about golf here. We're 5 minutes in.
Fine.
I'm I wouldn't say I'm a diehard I'm a diehard college basketball fan. I'm a casual college football fan because Illinois sucks so much. It's easy to ignore. I think this conference realignment is pretty awesome. There's like legit great games like all day, every Saturday. That was the whole point.
It's, you got the quote unquote helmet games, right?
Just like insane.
I got Oregon. I got Oregon versus Michigan, Washington, Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon. Yeah.
It's like
Texas, Georgia.
Yeah. Alabama, Tennessee. Like
well, they played every Thursday or every third Saturday in October for 100 years. But yeah, it's an interesting point. Now, do these start to does Georgia, Texas start to take on the prominence of just a big time, like Niners versus Chiefs today? Right. Still a good game, still great. But does that get tiresome in a way? I'm not suggesting it would. Why don't I see? I'd rather have more Georgia versus, Georgia Southern. That's not what I'm angling for at all. But is there a way that they start to lose their impact? I would say probably not, given that this is America and it's football and you get two big names and big teams and it'll still be hot. So you're into it.
Just like if golf had big time matches all the time.
I gotta say,
big time matchups.
Shriners, I think we've been largely positive. I know we're all in this together these last few weeks. We've been pretty positive. I enjoyed the stakes of what was happening at Black Desert, Matt McCarty. I enjoyed Sanderson makes sense on what you're playing for with these fall events. Shriners just didn't do it for me.
You know why? Pampling's not around.
What did Marty Laird do? The Desert Fox. Can you have a successul Shriners with no Marty Laird? I also
want to note this is being recorded before.
Oh yeah, we were not waiting.
JT Poston's on the 71st hole right now with a 4-shot lead.
Yeah, we're watching it at our Aiken rental.
Oh, 3-shot. Doug Gim made a birdie.
Yeah, Chicago's very own Doug Gim.
Yeah.
He went to Texas, that's right.
He went to Texas.
Not Illinois.
He's probably weeping.
Not
probably
Illinois.
Didn't play well.
Yeah. He's one of the few celebrities not in attendance down there, it looked like. Martin Laird got cut, as you can imagine. So JT Poston, we're gonna just presume he won. I mean, first of all, Joseph LaMagna gets in the weeds on the data. I think he's just not positive, not negative. He's analytical. He'll vouch for TPC San Antonio AT&T Oaks course. Thinks it's a great venue. He thinks this TPC Summerlin is heinous, horrendous, among the very, very worst golf courses. And, they've got a model, the Summerlin model. They change a 5 to a 4.
They need to do more. The guys were hitting 8 irons and 9 irons into par 5s today.
So they get these 50-mile-an-hour winds or gusts, 30-mile-an-hours on Friday. I heard you and Garrett talk a little bit about it. Good job by you guys filling in, or Garrett filling in. And,
what do you think about Supermans?
They're cool. I didn't listen to that whole discussion. I'm being honest. Might have hit skip. Might have bounced around in the car, took a call, or didn't go back. I forget what happened. But I heard the start of it. They're cool. What? I mean, they jump off the sky.
All right. I'm just. You didn't listen to it. Keep going. Carry on. So the wind's blowing.
The wind's blowing. You feel like Summerlin might show some teeth. And here's Doug Gim, your guy, your pace setter early. He goes, the toughest part was not knowing when you were going to start. That was the toughest part of the whole day. Not the shot, not battling the wind, not shaping shots, not distance control. The toughest part of the whole day was trying to figure out when they were going to start, because they had 2-hour delay, that becomes 4-hour delay. That's not what you want to hear when you finally get a little conditions to play through. JT Poston's going to win it. Not the biggest, not the best event. I don't have a lot. I don't want to say a lot. I have more I could say. I don't think it deserves it.
What more do you have to say? I'm interested.
I mean, should we talk about JT Poston's resume building?
Well, he might be the highest ranked JT after this.
Is that true? Is there?
Yeah, I mean, JT, the famous JT is 33rd in the official world golf rankings. Poston coming into this is, let's see. He is great radio here.
We struggle when we're in person because we got to hold the mic. So
he's 64.
Yeah, 64. I mean, I got to be honest. If the Shriners is enough to jump him 30 spots, that's the OWGR is further needs scrapping. JTP has won the Wyndham, Sedgefield.
We should just call him Posty.
James Tyree, like David Tyree. James Tyree Poston.
Posty.
Posty. Sure. Had some help with the Wyndham Championship. Won that one. The John Deere. So he's won Deere Run, TPC Deere Run. He's now winning TPC Summerlin. Never.
He lost in a playoff at the Barbie, too.
Played 16 majors, never had a top 25. So, I mean, guy's a legit pro. You win three times.
He's not a 4A guy.
No. I mean, he's a top 60 player in the world right now.
He's Mark DeRosa.
He's a good player. He's a card-carrying member of the PGA Tour and deservedly so.
He's like a guy that's in Major League Baseball for 12 years and bats no higher than 6 in the order.
He was so obviously the choice to win, right? Just the feast. I mean, Doug Gim, congrats to him.
Think about the fall. McCarty's an interesting one. We'll see where he goes.
Yeah.
But you got General Patton. Fall comes out. Patton Kazire, Mr. Fall Ball comes out. And now you got Posty.
I think he's a fellow Sea Islander or some down there somewhere.
So maybe it should be called Sea Island season. Keith Mitchell was contending at one of them too.
That may be what we should start calling it.
Who won the Keith Mitchell contention?
Sanderson.
Who won that?
That was
It wasn't Bo. Bo tried
Kevin
to get
Yu, right?
Yeah,
Wasn't
Kevin Yu. So you got two. I think this is a good fall. Like, fall is the time where guys that are like really good pros. JT Poston is a really good pro.
Yes.
Like he has been like, I think one of the things that's interesting about JT Poston is like he's gotten up on tour and he's just been there. Like,
yeah,
he has not gone anywhere,
yeah,
and he's not going anywhere for the foreseeable future. Like, he is just a bona fide tour pro. So like you have your bona fide tour pros win, and then I think you've had two interesting young players win.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not as pessimistic as you.
I'm not pessimistic. I've said I've enjoyed the FedEx Cup fall, as I call it now.
We're
FedEx
all in
fall.
this together.
We're all in it together. I just don't want
you tugging down Shriners ratings next year.
They're gonna have the Shriners guys and their little thimbles they put on their head with the tassels. Great charity. I'm not besmirching it at all. I mean, just it's 2024. You're walking out the door like that. I think it's an interesting deal. It's a thimble. So we got that. Congrats to... we're just watching this live as they come up 18. Congrats to JT.
Posty, winner.
Congrats to Posty.
You want some more Shriners to clean up?
Sure. What is there to clean up?
I got some
It's terrible.
I was watching on the plane. I brought this up on the Fried Egg Pod. Sorry for bringing it up twice, but...
Sure.
But Steve Sands...
You watched this on the plane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Still is replay round 3. I was watching it.
Whoa, that is dire. Oh my God. What? You're watching replay Shriners on the flight? Do anything else.
I wanted to know what was going on. All right.
You're committed to the craft. You're committed to this podcast.
Listen, I had the choice between watching Jaguars, Patriots. Yeah,
that's fair.
Or replay.
That's a good point.
Shriners.
That's a good point.
And I said I would rather have watched Jaguars, Pats, but because I'm committed to my profession, I watched the replay.
That's like I was driving around. I had options today, like Moe's, Southwest Grill, or Arby's or something. I just didn't eat anything. I was like, this is like garbage A, garbage B. But you went with you to replay Shriners. All right, I like that.
Steve Sands starts talking about how unbelievable of a sports city Las Vegas has turned into. I'm like thinking and he's like, they've got the Raiders, they've got the Athletics moving to town. Who the fuck is gonna go to an athletics game? An outdoor stadium in Las Vegas in
It's gotta
July.
be retractable.
I don't think so.
Come on.
I think it's out. I don't even think they have a stadium.
They're building it. There's a site. I think they're in.
So it's going to be built in 4 years?
Yeah.
Anyways,
it's an event city. It's not a sports city. It's an
there's
event
no
city.
Las Vegas fans. There's no Raiders
Oh, you're gonna
fans.
have
The
people
Raiders
worked
come
up.
from Oakland.
They're running Rebs. You're gonna have people.
The
worked
Raiders
up.
fans are from Oakland.
Yeah.
They've just pillaged Oakland of all of their sports teams. This is
agree.
not a great city that should be celebrated as a great city on a broadcast.
You know,
It's a
people
great
worked
sport,
up.
not a great city, great sports city. This is not a great sports
It's an
city.
event
There's no
city.
history.
Yeah.
The Shriners does have a little history, but he's talking about how great of a sports city it is. And then he goes, and the Raiders, they aren't in town this week. So you can come down and see the world's best golfers play. And I thought a second, I thought of Lee Corso. Not so fast there, Steve. None of the world's best players are there. None of the world's best players are turning up to Vegas in the fall.
That's good fact check. Real time fact check. A lot going to Zozo. A lot going to Japan next
Free
week.
points.
But free. No cut points. Ridiculous. And they've probably got to, do some activations, in Japan. Yeah, they weren't at the Shriners. They weren't at the Shriners. Do you have anything else you want to clean up?
Yeah, I do.
What? Replay.
JT Poston.
Yeah.
Interesting thing. Kind of sociopath behavior in the world of pro golf.
What?
He takes practice swings next to the ball.
That is, yeah. I mean, so does Zach Johnson. Successfully, half the time.
It must be a Sea Island thing.
No. Is that some sort of method they got going down there? Method. Interesting.
You got the Summerlin method.
I miss
The Sea
Zach.
Island method is.
You get Zach back in the spotlight.
What exemption is he playing on next year?
I don't know. Past champions a lot. It seems like he'll sneak his way in.
How's Wash Zach getting his 25 starts next year?
How about Padraig Harrington saying Champions Tour is the most cutthroat in the world?
I think it kind of is. We're saving cut the Champions Tour minute for PJ on Wednesday. We don't want to take its segment.
I got intel from the ground. All my fellow, DMV area, Mid-Atlantic, Piedmont region people
that went down.
said that Harrington, as he was talking about how it's the most cutthroat tour in the world, looked like he was in a cart. Seems like he was riding a cart. Hitting it 360, with the 180 mile an hour ball speed. Someone said he was in a cart with his Dynapower in tow. Yeah, I don't have any Shriner. Any other Shriners?
One more.
What else you got?
Congrats to Gilligan's Island, Ian Gilligan. 2024 Western Am Champ, Florida Star, T16. Another amateur playing well.
Love it. Love to hear that. You got it's what you want from a leaderboard at the you got Twitter's very own golf Twitter's own Michael Kim, claim to fame. He had a 62 on Sunday at Rockadoo.
Big move from
It's
him.
what you want. A mix of guys. Matty Schmid, Rico Hoey, young guys. The Toasty boy who's been just riding the roller coaster. I think last week he went 31, 42, and then another 31, in 3 consecutive nines. But he was in there.
He was in the mix. I was kind of disappointed. I
him?
feel like they were trying to jam him. They weren't showing enough of him on the Saturday cover. Mainly, I tuned into the replay because I saw Toasty was on the board.
Okay, that's why you're looking it up.
That's how it pushed it over the top of Jaguars Patriots for me.
All right, that does it for the Shriners. I have no more that I want to talk about.
Hey, I want to talk about the European Tour, which had a 9-hole playoff.
Okay. Julian Guerriere beats Jorge Campillo, the local favorite. Indiana celebrating that 7-0 start. Probably flying to game day next week. Jorge Campillo.
Indiana?
Yeah, they just announced it.
Oh, it should have been at Oregon.
First time they've ever had it. It's one of the last few remaining Power 5 schools or whatever they call
hasn't
it.
had it ever?
Illinois has never had it?
Yeah.
Really?
So we're down to one of the last 3.
Because they did Cal and
yeah.
Indiana were 2 of the last 5, I think. They just knocked off.
Illinois. They're going to send it down for Burt Ball's opener next year. I heard a great Bert story that I'm gonna have to tell you off
Oh
air.
my God, that is so unfair to the listeners. That's your first priority.
I'm gonna tell you, and then we'll see if we can roll it out this week.
Okay.
It's an
All right.
incredible.
Maybe
It's a tale from his Wisconsin era,
so I'll have to green light that or not. Okay, off the record.
where he might have been intermixing quite frequently into the campus life.
Oh well, yeah. I think there's a fair amount of Bert stories out there. Probably for the best Snapchat and these other devices weren't around when Bert was maybe coming out of his shoes,
Rumbling around Madison.
I can see that. You know where it's rumbling around? We're gonna do Euro Tour in a minute. You know what's rumbling around today?
What?
The Columbia Airport. You know, I was in my Andy hoodie, perfect travel
We got
hoodie,
both
versatile.
of them on.
I wore this for a fancy boy round of golf on Friday morning. It was chilly. It was versatile.
I saw you were at the
Oakmont.
U.S. Open.
Played at Oakmont. Had a couple days there. Great deal.
Can I ask you a question?
Humble Pittsburghers. Great friend. Great people. What?
Did you film a Breaking 90 series?
No.
Okay.
No. Nor a Breaking 100. Nor a Breaking 80. No, I didn't.
I'm disappointed.
But
You
I
should've
had
done
my-
it for the YouTube channel.
I was wailing away in my Andy hoodie. That's gonna be a good U.S. Open. Hot take. Get some good golf holes there. I was wailing away in my Andy hoodie on Friday there, and then just a travel hoodie. I'm in sweatpants. It's versatile like that. I was a little chilly. You know what I was traumatized by actually driving for that Columbia airport drive this way towards Aiken, Augusta. All I could think about was that time I got the Mustang convertible and it came with the top down in the lot and I couldn't get it down. I'm still have the chills from that drive. I was like PTSD coming down 20. But I had my Andy hoodie, hot, ready to go. Separate rental car take. I did Turo, your little fancy,
It's
big
not
tech.
fancy. It's cheaper.
It's big tech,
It won't be.
deal.
Well, what they'll do is they'll put the rental cars out of business and then they'll jack the prices on you. That's the tech playbook.
So I locked in the Turo because there are no rental cars. I'm walking out of the airport trying to find the car. I look at the pictures of it. Pictures of the car. Some provocative bumper stickers were on the car. I was like, oh God, I'm going to be... I was like, you don't get that, it hurts. Provocative. I'll just leave it like that. So I get to the car, they removed them all. I was like, oh God, I'm gonna be walking around. It's like 4 weeks before the election. These people have some intense bumper stickers. But yeah, you don't get that, it hurts. But they had ripped them off by the time I got to my car. Either way, I was in my Andy hoodie, which you can procure yourself.
Well, you can do the way of my buddy who's mad that I jammed him a couple episodes ago.
What? He went and used SGS 30 at
He goes, I
BGA.com.
love the Andy hoodie. What's the promo code? I don't want to pay full price in the Fried Egg Pro Shop.
They had him at Oakmont Pro Shop. Full price Oakmont Pro Shop. You're not using SGS 30 there.
SGS 30 doesn't work there, huh?
Yeah, no, they had a lot of good Dratty in there and zero. SGS 30 works at both Zero Restriction and BDratty.com. Longtime supporters of us. They are here. Look at this. Patton Kazire's on the green. Look at this. The boys of fall. Kenny Chesney's song.
Might have to take a picture of that. We'll rewind it once we're done recording. Get it up.
This is live reaction. We just talked about that. We spoke it into existence. Waiting for Posty.
Use SGS 30 at beatready.com.
They're here. They're here with us in Aiken. They
brought the camper.
Everyday Vest is the giveaway.
He
People
probably
are
should have
hot
slept
about
in the
that.
camper. He had some hotel issues.
That's some hotel issues. No Wi-Fi, no towels. Other than that, it was
had to
great.
jump on a last-minute Airbnb.
Yeah, adventures in Aiken this week. So use SGS 30. Let's go to European Tour. 9-hole playoff.
All right.
Julian Guerriere.
Julian Guerriere goes in enemy turf and takes down
Fan favorite.
Yeah, fan
Campillo.
favorite.
Yeah.
Indiana Hoosier Campillo.
Yeah.
They're going to get blown out to sea, the Hoosiers.
Didn't you just say they don't play anybody?
Yeah, they're going to lose. They got UW next week.
Okay.
And their quarterback's hurt. But anyways, I'm deep in
locked
Big
in.
Ten football now.
They got to rename that.
You know what
conference.
what our percentage for CFP is?
Okay. This is a good one. 6-1. So you got 5 games left. I'm gonna say it is 9% CFP.
It's a pretty good.
You're
guess.
20th in the rankings.
Really good guess. It was. Let me see. I screenshotted it this morning. It is 7%.
Okay, not nothing.
There's a chance too. We could lose to Oregon, and then we got a pretty light schedule after.
To lost Illinois. Then we need to go back to the BCS. If this is what's happening, can we go back to the BCS? All right. So Gary Air wins.
Gary Air wins 9 holes. Yeah. It was just a par fest.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not riveting. This was another thing I was watching an early morning on the plane.
Okay. 17 of 18 scores were pars.
Yeah.
9 holes. So can I propose something?
Wait, hold on. This is what I was getting at.
Okay.
This is what.
Yeah.
In a tournament that is relatively inconsequential, and I know this was really big for Gary Air, who had never won before. It was his first win in 200 and something starts.
19 years.
Yeah. So
on the
I don't want to diminish this, but at some point, a playoff of an inconsequential event should reduce down to a closest to the pin.
Yep. That's my proposal. We're on this. I was gonna try and throw this one to you, but you beat me to the punch. Yeah, you gotta just have a chip off.
I almost tweeted it. I just didn't want everybody else to take the take.
Stop the madness.
I wanted to give it a delivery here.
Stop it.
Yeah,
just chip off.
Well, they were just hitting it to the middle of the greens and 2-putting.
Yeah.
Nobody was doing anything. Nobody was trying to win. They were just trying not to lose. They get in these playoffs and nobody goes. It's just like, oh, I'm just going to play super conservative golf. It's boring as shit.
Just do the chip off.
And there's so much dead time. It's terrible TV.
Because you only have 2 guys on the course. There's nothing to go to. Yeah. Anything else on the 10 cards to watch for? Rasmus sounds like locked in. Yeah, I think he locked it up. He had the top 5, I want to say. So he played well. It's kind of solidified.
Gary Air's on the cusp now.
Yeah.
He's the next man out. The guy's never. Think about this. He's never won. He's never won.
He's gonna have you talk about cutthroat. Come on. He won the Real Soto Grand, Australia Dam Andalucia Masters, and now he's got a PGA Tour card. He hasn't won in 19 years. I don't know.
Seems a little soft.
I don't know. Yeah, it really feels like, giving a 2-loss Illinois team a playoff spot. That just seems like we're stretching. We're stretching too far.
I mean, compare that to what the Great One's done this year.
I mean, that's a proper record. Proper resume. Did you see Campillo's in the running for a card? He goes, I don't want it. I've had enough of America. I guess that's what 4 years in Bloomington will do. I don't know. He said he's done. He's like, all these guys are thirsting for this top 10 spot. He's like, if I get it, I don't care. I'll go play a little bit in Florida around the Masters. That's it.
A little cleanup. Cantor would have to sit out. He would have to serve in a suspension.
Oh.
He'd have to sit out till...
then what are we doing?
I believe February or March.
Okay.
And it turns out he's not happy about it.
I mean,
he's never played on the PGA Tour. He's never had a PGA Tour card. And he's suspended by the PGA Tour. That seems like absolutely insane to me. Does that seem insane to you?
Yeah.
He's never played on the tour. And because he went and played on Live, he can't play on...
So he never turned his back, essentially, on the tour. Or
he never turned... Yeah.
Submarine in a way. Yeah.
He's never said anything bad about the tour. But because he played on some golf tour, he's suspended. Talk about petty and stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's ridiculous. The biggest game within the game left in those card races, the Piss Bear. Who, I think
he's got his card.
They say he's not fully done yet. He's got to do some work in the Dubai.
I think he have status on the tour.
I don't know, but
I think he has tour status.
The fewer transatlantic flights for the Piss Bear. I don't know that we want him getting in that. getting in that commute anymore. The Posty boy has just finished and closed it out. Wins by 1. He won by 1. We have prematurely recorded this.
I feel like we've prematurely done some.
But he did win by 1.
Hannah Green won in wire to wire. And
just done with the Euro Tour, huh?
I'm done with it.
John Rahm sneaks in. He gets 2 more starts. Gets to the Middle East. Had the top 5 or so. But yes, he's set for the Middle East next month. That's it on the European Tour. BMW Ladies, Hannah Green wins 6-hour rounds. A little bit windy, but totally inexcusable. PGA Tour, Yell PGA has a real product problem with pace of play. This was a limited field, 70 players. 6-hour round. And why is there only one event in Korea? Doesn't seem right, you know? And in order, like, how many events do you need? Garbage courses in Texas and Florida. You have one event in Korea on your schedule, given the crowds you could draw. Although this one looks like kind of a remote deal. Not a lot of people there. But, right? Shouldn't you cater more and have more opportunities in Korea? Given the stars that exist?
Absolutely.
I don't know. Seems like kind of a miss. But Hannah Green wins. She's won 3 times now on the LPGA Tour. Obviously, you know, just there's Nelly's season, there's Lydia's season, and then I think it's Hannah Green, not much farther, you know, farther behind, but she's probably third in line for another great year. I think it's the first time an Aussie's won 3 times since Kari Webb in an LPGA season. So congrats to her, having a solid big time year. Champions Tour, Tim O'Neill won 3 times on the.
Save this for PJ.
Latino America. I got to at least acknowledge the result. That's all
we were
going to
acknowledge it on Wednesday. You stole PJ's thunder.
It's probably the biggest story of the week.
It is the biggest story of the week. Listen, Champions Tour, that is the biggest story of the fall.
Tim O'Neill, that's a good deal. Cookie Monster was very emotional interviewing him. I actually watched a good bit of that wrap-up show. He wins the Dominion Energy Charity Classic. Goes from like 54, make it to the next stop in the playoffs. He was 55. He's now 13th in the Schwab Cup standings with $700,000. And that's their point system, is just dollars down there or up there on the senior circuit.
Feels like down there when you're talking about pro golf, but it's actually up there.
I mean, Tim O'Neill, he won 3 times Latino America. Never KFT. Never PGA Tour. 9 years ago, he won. It's a good win. It's a good story. News? I have no news. This was a light weekend in golf. I did get a little scuttlebutt from back home. Someone saw Jason Kokrak at a proper pumpkin patch. So he might be listening. He's going to the real pumpkin patches, Jason Kokrak.
I bet he was booing when Deshaun got hurt.
He might have been there in the dog pound, drinking 24-ounce, whatever. And another win for big anti-chair. Did you see the ball that got stuck between that woman's backside and the chair sitting on the European Tour? It was a big delay. She couldn't move. She had to sit there.
She should just move. It's not that consequential.
Couldn't move. It just sat there like this. The ball stuck. Like, why do you have a folding chair in the middle of some golf hole? Anyways, just go to the green, sit up there. So another win for superfluous chairs and the proliferation of chairs. I think that does it. You have anything else you want to add for this Monday episode?
And I'm just excited to go eat some oysters in Aiken. I'm sure it's a happening spot.
Hungry Boy Oysters. I'm excited. Go check it out. All right, everyone, enjoy your Mondays. We'll be back with you on Wednesday. Talk a little Zozo. SGS30, BeDready.com. Talk to you then.